Hi guys, so in this video I will be doing a live trading session. It is now 10:20, so you can see here right here, which is basically 9:30 New York time. So on the daily we can see that we have some liquidity right here and right here, and overall I think market looks pretty bearish at the moment. On the H4 we also look quite bearish at the moment, but I don't really like how we already took out this low and this low. So it kind of feels like, I don't know, days like this I don't really like to trade because we just came off of some expansions. And, you know, stuff like this, it looks like a continuation, but I can't be sure as well because, again, this is like, there's like PD arrays here that are not balanced yet here. So, but if we see continuation below this candles right here, then I can short all the way down. I also wouldn't really like to long off something like this, but it is a possibility as well. We have perfect equal highs right here, so I wouldn't say longs are completely off the table, but yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bias. You can see Asian highs and London highs are both not taken, so I guess longs would make more sense in this case, but there is nothing that is showing me that price wants to go up at the moment. So just based off of drawn liquidity, I can see a case for both sides. There's drawn liquidity here, there's also drawn liquidity here. In terms of the PD array, there is already a H1 here. So in order for me to get short, I just need to see continuation down. In order for me to get long, I would need to see like a lot of displacement up and then possibly a retrace and then continue up. Doesn't really look like there's much bullish SMT. We might have a bearish one though. Looks like there's an SMT here. 330 to 730. Yeah. So we do have a bearish SMT as well. And so it is possible for a short here actually. So of course I would like to see price respect this 30-minute inverse fair value gap, and then I want to see like displacement below if it was to be shorts. But I can see a case for both sides. So yeah. So if we do project the standard deviation, it does seem like it will, the -4 aligns with this, so it does seem like a place to reverse. But in terms of longs right now, it's more like predicting instead of reacting. If I really was to take longs, I need the market to show me that it actually wants to go up. So I need it to do something like close strongly above this bearish fair value gap. I need it to have at least a 15-minute change in the state and close above all of these down close candles, which it looks like it's not going to. So I am probably going to be more short biased today. If we do get a close below this, it is my model to go short, so I could potentially see a short. Honestly, I don't really like that close. I feel like that it's not really that bearish of a close. So, and it's also not very bullish as well. So, I'm just trying to find if there's any bullish SMTs or any bullish confirmation, but it just looks like there isn't. So, yeah, shorts are pretty much off the table. Longs as well have not been confirmed. So, I'll have to wait for the 15-minute candle close. So my next plan is just to wait for a 15-minute candle close. If it closes above this, then it's a change in the state of delivery, and I'll be able to look for longs. But wait, I just realized we also have a 15-minute inverse fair value gap right here, and we did not tap into it. That does make it harder because if it did tap into it, then it could have been a valid long. But obviously, I wouldn't chase it. There's another SMT. So you can see NQ took out those highs and ES didn't. So there is an SMT. 30-minute fair value gap still respected, sort of, because it's not closed yet. 15-minute, because of this, it is starting to show a bit more bullish signs. So I don't know. If we can get a 3-minute change in the state, then that could be that is a valid model, I guess. The reason why I'm starting to film these live trading videos is just so that I can have more accountability. And I feel like if I'm filming this, it would make me less want to, I don't want to film myself and document myself doing something stupid. So I think it will provide me with more accountability. For example, for a day like today, I know right now, me recording this video is making me more aware of how low probability of a day this is, but I can also see opportunities, potential opportunities. So I want to stay very grounded and also just be very sort of actually I do want to take a short here if we close below this, because like I said, that would be change in state, and we've also just swept liquidity and we created SMT, and we also respected the 30 minutes. So it could also be a 15-minute retrace. And if we get a 1 minute, see, this is the reason why I kind of don't really like today, because now we've just tapped into a 15-minute Fair Value gap. If we get a 1 minute change in the state or 1 minute inverse Fair Value gap, that is another like model to go long. And in the span of like 2-3 minutes, I just went from seeing a possible model short to a possible model long, which just means there's two opposing biases today, both that are kind of valid. Yeah. This long honestly doesn't look too bad if I'm just targeting London highs. Alright, going long here. So I'll just explain why I took that long. Even though, okay, it seems like I see the problem with doing this kind of videos now is because the things that are going on in my head happens really quick. So pretty much the case for longs was that I need to have some sort of higher time frame PD array, so at least a 15-minute. And initially I did say I wanted to see the close above this first, but then I realized that there is a 15-minute inverse fair value gap created with this close. And in the 30-minute, our bearish 30-minute, what is this? Let me just get rid of this. This is kind of annoying me. Why is this here? Okay, wait, let me get rid of this. So let me go through the case for both longs and shorts. The case for shorts was this 30-minute bearish fair value gap that was respected with this 9:30 candle. And when 9:30 opened, with 9 a.m. candle, when 9:30 candle opened, it was still respecting. So even right now, technically, since the 9:30 candle hasn't closed, it could still be respecting this bearish fair value gap. So that was a bearish case. It was just the fact that this candle respected it, and if I get a 3-minute change in the state, then that would be a bearish model. But obviously we didn't. So there is no bearish model, and the drawn liquidity is still intact, but it doesn't really matter. The bullish case is that the drawn liquidity is London highs, Asian highs, these equal highs, and just a lot of these unfilled gaps. Unfilled gap here, 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 order block there. So it's just a lot of unfilled gaps, and also the fact that when I did the 3-minute, when I did the standard deviation, the -4 lands on here. So it showed that this was time to reverse. And yeah, I think that was pretty much the case for bullish. Now something that I also can just see right now is just that we have this bullish inverse fair value gap here, but all of that honestly doesn't really matter that much. The main thing for bullish is just that we had this 15-minute inverse, and then on the 1 minute we came back, we tapped into, so let me get rid of this. So this is the 15-minute inverse fair value gap. On the 1 minute we came back, we tapped into the 15-minute inverse fair value gap, and then we went up above it, and we had a change in the state. And we also had a fair value gap. So yeah. Now to be honest, I feel like this trade honestly is it's not really an A plus setup, to be honest. It's more of like, I don't really have a strict grading system, but I know the difference between a trade that's an A plus and a trade that's not. And I think today's trade is something that's a little bit more of a pattern trade, I would say. It's where everything is there. I have a draw on liquidity, I have a fair value gap, I have an entry. The only thing is just the fact that there is two opposing biases, and the fact that like literally minutes before I entered long, I was looking for shorts. That's honestly kind of a red flag. My issue today was that I knew there was two opposing biases and I still wanted to get into a trade because I wanted to get in a trade. I just wanted to. I think right now I'm at a place where I want to pass an account. And this desire to want to pass an account is causing me to take trades like this. Before I got into this trade, I just kept sort of like seeing the possibility of a win. Like I just couldn't really see why it would lose. And I think that's the issue as well. The fact that like whenever I go into a trade and the only thing I'm thinking about is winning, then that is usually a red flag. I obviously went into the day with like a bearish bias and saw the chance for a bullish and just this would have been the trade probably. Okay, the reason why I reversed was because I saw that this bearish SMT was still intact, and because I saw that on ES we were pushing lower. The 15-minute candle just closed, and on ES we just respected this, and we also just had a 15-minute change in the state. So it obviously looks really bearish on ES, which is why I ended up reversing my position. But I have honestly never done that before. I don't think I've ever just straight up reversed the position like that. There was like a model though, because we just had a 3-minute change in the state right here when we closed below that. But still, like, whether I win or lose today, I'm not really happy with how I executed, to be honest. I am going to look back at this video and analyze all of my thoughts, all of exactly what I said, and all of my executions as well. Today was a really messy day because I came into the day with two biases, and the fact that I acted on both the biases was just what messed me up. I should have stuck to one bias, I think, or I should have just not taken a trade. I think this is, yeah, that is the issue for today. This is so annoying because this is the this is the setup that I wanted since the start of the video. But this is the, like, look, I literally drew out that line here, remember? And then all I needed to do was just to wait for price to go, but like, I have this 3-minute breakout structure and then short. But then I had to go and do something stupid like enter off the 15-minute when we haven't even like had a 15-minute change in the state. Like, that was the issue. It was the fact that I had two loose biases and then I switched in between. So that is the okay. So I'll just talk about my issues this video. I mean, this is not a regular issue that I face, but I don't know why I did it today. But I came into the day with a loose bias for both sides, which was sort of the thing that led to me being like slipping up and longing because of the fact that it is kind of valid. And yeah, if I could do today again, the right way to do it was to just be more firm on one side, and if ever you're not sure, just don't take anything at all until you get exactly what you want on the side that you want. Because when I longed, I settled for that 15-minute inverse fair value gap. Remember how I said if I wanted to long, I wanted to see price have a change in the state? The reason is because if we have a change in the state, then that is more of like an actual market structure shift, not just like a random fair value gap out of nowhere, you know? So yeah, I think that's what I would have changed from today. And the fact that I shorted was also like the fact that I shorted straight after this was because there was a valid setup, because there is this change in the state, but it was also a very much, the mindset was also like it was pretty much revenge trading, I would have to say. Yeah, even though that would have been the valid setup of the day. Okay, that's me done there. So yeah, I'm up $292 today, but obviously not very proud. Just the very first trade was just really bad, and I think that's pretty much it. I'm sure you guys understand why I took this trade, as I've explained already, in terms of my bias and everything. So yeah. Yeah, the main issue today was really just taking that first trade. That was it today. It really is not my proudest day at all, to be honest. I'm not very happy with this win. This trade itself is valid, obviously, but yeah, the very first trade probably shouldn't have taken it. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.